doesn't really matter what you putt with. There's hundreds of putters you could use. So you just got to find the one that you like the way it feels. And they make putters in different stabilities. So some of them, highs or more. Some of them have beads, some of them don't. I can't give you any advice about what putter to use. I use this JK AVR. It's an Innova putter. It has a bead on it, and it's kind of a softer plastic, which I just like when I putt. Some people like them harder, but it's my preference. I just like softer ones. The thing about putting, the main thing about putting is you've got to will the disc to go in. And I think it is as much mental as it is physical. And so I'll show you the physical part of it first, how I set up and how I putt, and then I'll talk about the will part of it. And there are various styles for putting too. I'm right-handed, and my kind of go-to stance for putting is a sort of a right foot forward stagger. So if this is my line, I'm going to do short putts here just so we can get it on the camera and so you can see it too. And my right foot is behind my mark on line with the basket, and my left foot is not directly back but out to the left. It's kind of an open stance. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this foot's kind of straight, but I'm trying to get my navel square right at the basket. Okay, so that's why I open my stance up like this. My grip it's kind of a fan grip. My index finger is around the rim. The other two fingers are inside the rim, and I keep this index, or this big finger, my middle finger, under the plate this way. And I find that it allows me to keep the disc on the plane that I want. So that's my stance. It's a little bit athletic. I try to keep my knees bent. And as you know, it's like a weight shift, right? What I do to line up my putt is I'm looking right over the front edge of the disc at the point at which I want to hit. So I'm looking at one link on the chain. And for me, because I'm right-handed and because my backhand putt spins clockwise, I want to hit a chain link just to the right of the pole and just about halfway up the pole between the top of the basket and the rim. And I want it to hit just to the right because as it's spinning and hits chains, this is the way it spins. So you've seen that, right? If you hit left side and they kick out. So just the sweet spot's a little bit right of that. And that's what I'm looking at when I'm lining the putt up. So I'm lining it up here, and I'm actually reaching all the way. When I putt, I reach all the way out here because that's kind of where I'm hitting the putt, where it comes out of my hand. So that's what I'm looking at when it's releasing. My other arm is back. My knees are bent. And then it's just a rate transfer. I start the motion by pulling the disc sort of in towards my navel and back onto my left foot. And I want you to notice that my arm is pretty much straight. It's not totally straight, but my elbow is pretty much straight. What I'm trying to do here is eliminate excess motion. I only want one motion. I want the disc coming from here to there. And if I'm bending my elbow and I'm cocking my wrist, then I've just added two more variables to the throw. So I'm keeping my arm pretty much straight. I'm lining up my putt right there. I'm bringing it back. I'm shifting my weight, and I'm pushing it straight out. And my release is pretty much like that. So my finger, this index finger is, I'm pointing right to the basket, okay? And obviously those are easy to make because they're close, but that's the idea. It's sort of an open stance. It's a weight shift, straight arm, and out to it. Now that's a right foot forward. The others, you know these stances, but I'll just tell you real quickly. I use a straddle stance a lot, especially with wooded courses and there's trees. So a straddle putt, again, if this is my mark, I got to have one foot on that line, my point, to the basket. And now I'm 90 degrees. I'm still square though. My navel is still square to the basket. And it's pretty much the same kind of thing. I'm sighting it the same way. I'm bringing it down this way, and I'm trying to keep my arm straight as I stretch out to the basket. And but I'm not able to get a lot of weight shift because the way my feet are. So what I try to do is keep my knees bent, and the power I get from the putt, the straddle putt, is by straightening up my knees when I'm putting. These are easy because they're short ones, I know. So that's a straddle putt. Same kind of thing though. I'm trying to keep my arm straight. I'm focusing on that link. I'm sighting it right here, bending my knees, and coming straight out at it. Okay? The other kind of stance I'll tell you about, because I use it very successfully sometimes. It's a wrong foot putt. And I use this when I'm on a slope. When I'm on my stance, I can't get level. And the only thing that's different about it is my left foot is forward instead of the right. So I'm still lined up here. I'm still opening my stance this way, but my arm is still straight. I'm still coming down here. I'm still sighting on the same spot. It's just turned this way instead. And if you try it out on a place where, if you're right-handed, try it on a place where, let's imagine this was a slope, and I'm on this slope here. If I put this back foot here, now I'm like this. But if I do if I put my left foot forward, I'm pretty much level, even though the ground's coming this way. If I try a straddle putt, I'm going to be off level again because my one foot is going to be higher than the other. So I use this one to level myself if I have the if the slope is there. But it's the same kind of thing. I'm looking at that spot. Straight out to it. And it's not a big throw. It's a putt. It's a put. That's what they call it, a put. That's why they call it a putt. Oh, that was not good. So those are the three stances, basically. And the rest of the stuff is just kind of working on it, trying to get the release, and being strong with the throw. So that's the physical part. The mental part, the thing I said at first, that you have to will it to go in, is you have to, before you putt, before you even get to your lie, you got to talk to yourself and say, all right, I'm making this putt. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get up to my lie. I'm going to go my regular stance. I've checked the wind. I'm making it. And that's you talk to yourself in a positive way. The more you can tell yourself positive things, the less chance you have, less space there is in your head to let in the doubts and the second thoughts. And putting comes down to just wanting to do it. So the more you can say to yourself and talk to yourself about the good, positive things about that putt, the less chance there you have to stop and rethink it. The other thing about the mental part of putting is you need a routine, and this will help you to keep the positive things. The routine is something that you do every time, and for me, it's a thing I do on every shot. It's not just putts, but it's so that I don't spend too much time thinking about it. And for me, I have a mantra, like a couple words I say to myself, and I'll tell you what mine is, and maybe it works for you, or maybe you'll find your own. But my mantra is see it. And when I say see it to myself, that's when I'm focusing on the link. I'm seeing where I want to throw it to. The second thing I say to myself is grip it, because I want to make sure I'm ready with my grip, and I've got a grip. And for me, that's usually just this last little index finger getting around that rim. So it's see it, it's grip it, and then the last thing is rip it. And I'm just throwing it. At that point, after I've thought those three things, I'm throwing it. I'm not going to wait any longer. I'm not going to second guess myself. I'm not going to think about, is that the right disc, or how's the wind going? All that stuff I've already considered. I've gone through my routine, and then I do it. And if I miss it, oh well. If I miss it, the only thing that matters at that point is this putt, not the one I just missed. So what I try not to do is to think about what's next or what just happened. but what I'm doing right now. And so actually the fourth thing that I say to myself after I say see it, and grip it, and rip it, and I've thrown it, the fourth thing is forget it. Because whatever happened, happened. And there's nothing I can do to change that now. The only thing I can control is the putt or the throw that I'm making at that moment. So as you practice your putting, you just got to find something that works for yourself. And then the last thing I will say about the mental part of it, it's part of physical too, is that it's a beautiful day, right? Everybody wants to go out and play another round. But you will get more pleasure and more benefit if you spend time putting than going out and playing another round with your buds. So you have to commit yourself to doing it, and it's not always fun. You can make games out of it, right? You can play games with other people. You can play disc or whatever you want to do, but you just got to find some time to practice the putting. And what I recommend that you do is once you find a putter you like, that you get 5 of them that are the exact weight and the same model. So they are the same disc. It doesn't matter what you're putting with. It's, I can use any of these putters. They're all going to do the same thing, and I know what they're all going to do. So try to find, once you find something you like, get a bunch of them that you like, and then just set up a practice thing where you have different stations and you just putt 20 of them from each station, or you play other kind of putting games. There's all kind of things you can do.